What's up, folks? How we doing? Welcome. Yeah, I'm back. It's been a minute. Don't remember the last time I did a live stream, so that's a problem. So let's try and fix that. Appreciate you guys joining. I know we don't have a ton of people here yet. It'll probably fill up as we go on. I know we're doing it a little bit earlier today. Just recorded the AJ show earlier. So we were already talking about the topic at hand with JJ Watt. All very interesting. But I mean, we have a lot to discuss. Before I get into everything, I want to let you guys know that I have some big things coming in regards to this channel. As part of the sponsorship deal, I can't say who on this live right now, but if you've already seen it on social, then you kind of know where I'm going with this. So have a huge sponsorship lined up, for the Downtown Rams podcast and this channel. So I really appreciate you guys. Could not have gotten to that point without you. I didn't really honestly think we were there yet, but nonetheless, I'm excited. Just a lot going on. Another thing is, I will say I got into affiliate marketing. If anybody's interested in making some extra cash on the side, getting into affiliate marketing, there's a great course called the Checkmate Affiliate Marketing, and I can hook you up with that on Gumroad for $35. If anyone is interested in that, let me know. I will be posting a link in every video from now on. I want to get people, involved with that. Just really, been dealing with all sorts of stuff lately. We came out with the Matthew Stafford video. Thought that did very well. And, then, we had the sponsorship come up out of nowhere, which, I was pretty happy about. And, now we are, I'm into, the whole affiliate marketing, thanks to my friend Alex Zamora. So, just kind of doing a bunch of things right now. My main focus, of course, is this channel and the podcast, and then everything else is after that. But I just wanted to I can't even talk, catch you up to speed about what's going on. And if you guys are interested in any of it, let me know. Also, shout out to Doge for not completely diving into a pit of despair. I thought by now Dogecoin might have gone down a little bit. It has a little bit, but it hasn't gone down as far as I thought. But you guys are here to listen to football, right? You're not here to listen to me talk about everything. I mean, if we were doing that, then I'd be talking about WandaVision right now, But we're talking about football, and the topic at hand is JJ Watt, and I will say, JJ Watt. The news shouldn't shock me, but I think the release shocked me. Right off the cuff, I just felt like it was very surprising to see a guy like that cut. I thought they would have traded him, but then I realized, you know what, you got to give them a credit. I've been really dogging on their organization as a whole, the Texans, and you got to give them credit for doing that. They could have gotten something for him, and instead they decided not to, and they just wanted to do it the right way. So they released him to allow J.J. Watt to experience for the first time in his career the opportunity to test the waters, see what's out there. So I'm pretty happy for JJ Watt to get out of that situation. I'm happy that he's going to have an opportunity to win a Super Bowl. And, I'm looking at this here, and, the four teams that come off to, the first four teams that come out of my mind right now that makes sense for him. Tampa Bay just won the Super Bowl. Green Bay, they were in the NFC title game. The Rams were in the divisional round. And then on the AFC side, if he stays in the AFC, there's only one team that makes sense, and that's the Steelers. To me, they're the favorite. J.J. Watt's brothers are there, both Derek and T.J. Of course, we know T.J. So, for me, I just kind of look at that, and I'm like, yeah, I don't really see that, like him not going there. You know what I mean? I kind of feel like that's where we're gravitating towards. So we'll see. Maybe he doesn't go there, but right now, I pretty much bet that he's going to end up going there for the Steelers. As far as, each team, we'll break it down. We'll go into it, talk about how it makes sense for each team. Sorry, I didn't realize how far back I was sitting. So we'll cover that, and then we'll go over, pros and cons for each team. And then I'll make a prediction about where he's going, although I pretty much said that I think he's going to the Steelers. And then we'll talk about whatever, But that's just the main topic at hand. That's what I wanted to cover today. And I'm wondering if at some point we should sit down and have a live stream just watching film. Let me know if you guys would be interested in that. I think that might be fun to take a look at. I don't know. You guys let me know. But yeah, I think Chantry, that's funny. Oh, I just saw Ronnie. Hey Jake, big fan. Thoughts on CCIV merger with Lucid Motors? Ronnie, it's huge. It's absolutely huge. Get in to Churchill Capital if you can. As soon as the market opens on Monday, I think the thing is going to absolutely go through the roof. I'm not a financial advisor though, so don't yell at me if you lose money, and don't credit me for your gains because I did not earn that. So yeah, I think there's a lot, obviously, to discuss with the whole J.J. Watt dynamic. I mean, let's take it from the top. I mean, J.J. Watt, went from the Aaron Donald of the league to when Aaron Donald came in, he kind of took a back seat, second fiddle, got hurt a lot, but he was still very productive, and he never ended up winning a Super Bowl with the Texans. So, I think looking at this is a player that, for the most part, his entire career, he's been double teamed. He's been somebody that teams have tried to neutralize. And the Texans have had to get creative, and they've had guys like Jadeveon Clowney, and, you could look at Whitney Merciless and DJ Reader. So there have been guys there that have taken the load off a little bit, but for the most part, J.J. Watt, again, last year, Merciless is still there, and, he's getting double teamed every which way. I think he was double teamed 30% of the snaps last year. It's the most of any edge defender in the league. J.J. Watt, not T.J. Watt. So we're going to start off with the first team, which would be honorable mentions. I'd say the Bills and the Browns. So the Bills are an honorable mention because they're a playoff team. They're a team that was not far away from making a Super Bowl, not far at all. And, you have to look at what they're building there. You have to feel good if you're J.J. Watt. You want to go to a team that, feels like a contender, but not just a contender, a team that feels like they can win. I have my reservations about the Bills in a sense where I don't think necessarily they will win a Super Bowl, but I think they could. And when you look at their defense, I mean, right now, for the most part, excuse me, they are going to have Jerry Hughes, Vernon Butler, Ed Oliver, Mario Addison. They also added A.J. Epinesa in the draft. They have Quentin Jefferson, Harrison Phillips, and Trent Murphy's a free agent. So if they could, you add J.J. Watt, and I mean that wouldn't be a bad option at all if you're looking at it. I mean, think about this. Now you have Jerry Hughes, who had a really good win percentage last year, a win rate, and then Vernon Butler and Ed Oliver in the trenches, alternating with Quentin Jefferson and Harrison Phillips, which is a nice little beefy interior. And then at defensive end on the other side, Mario Addison, as good as he is, J.J. Watt would take over. Plus, you would have A.J. Epinesa. That is a monstrous defensive line rotation, and I think that would really help them, looking at that. But then you look at the Browns, and the thing with the Browns, they're a team that, they may have done better than people expected, but this is always kind of how I felt with the Browns. I felt like they had the talent to get there. They probably should have been there already. So, credit where credit's due to Kevin Stefanski and Joe Woods, who was a former defense coordinator for the Broncos, to come in and change this thing. And I think, look at this defense. You have Myles Garrett, you have Sheldon Richardson, you have, Larry Ogunjobi's a free agent, Olivier Vernon's a free agent. They added Adrian Claiborne, Porter Gustin had himself a year, Andrew Billings, and then Joe Jackson, who they got from Dallas, and Jordan Elliott, who was a third-round pick in 2020. They could add J.J. Watt. And if they add J.J. Watt, then he's going to start across from Myles Garrett. So that's something. I don't necessarily think they're going to bring back Werner, a guy that they traded for from the Giants. I'm not guaranteeing that. They traded Kevin Zeitler for him, not OBJ. But, I'm not going to guarantee that at all. And I think that might be a good fit. We'll see, though. I mean, how do you truly know, what a good fit is for J.J. Watt? He's only played on one team his entire career. I think any fit right now would be better than what he has. So those are the honorable mentions, and if I missed anyone, I apologize. I mean, you could make the argument the Colts could be interested. That would be interesting. But the first one we'll start off with, we're going to go with the favorite here, who I believe is the favorite, the clubhouse favorite, the Pittsburgh Steelers. When you look at their defense, you look at the guys that they have. They have three key core long-term guys in Minkah Fitzpatrick. They have, of course, Devin Bush, and then TJ Watt, his brother. So that's a really good look right off the bat. But then you factor in the fact that he's related to TJ Watt. That's also huge. This is somebody who would have an opportunity to play on the defensive line, in a defensive line with Cameron Hayward, Stephon Tuitt, TJ Watt. Bud Dupree is going to be hitting free agency, so maybe you fill in J.J. Watt, and you have him be an outside linebacker, and then you have T.J. Watt as the other outside linebacker. Then you have Stephon Tuitt, Cameron Hayward. They have to bring back Tyson Alualu, who had a phenomenal season. He's a free agent. And Bud Dupree, if you miss him, you have Alex Highsmith. So, I think they've done a nice job of bringing guys in like Ola Adaney, Carlos Davis in the 2020 draft. And I think, to me, this is probably the best fit. This is the defense that, before the Rams really took off with Brandon Staley, this was the best defense in all of football. So I think when you really look at it, this is probably the favorite. This is probably the best fit. And, I ultimately think this is where he'll go. Now, there's a lot of pros there. What are the cons? Well, the cons are he goes to the Steelers. Are the Steelers the best team in the AFC? Are they 100% going to win him a Super Bowl? That we don't know. There's some question marks. There's a lot of red names. And what are red names? Well, when we get to free agency, red names are guys that are free agents, guys that are no longer on the roster as soon as the new league year starts. And you look at guys like Tyson Alualu, who was very, very impressive as the nose tackle. He becomes a free agent. You look at, Chris Wormley in the trenches. He becomes a free agent who they got from the Ravens. Bud Dupree becomes a free agent. Avery Williamson, Jaron Elliott, Sean Davis, Mike Hilton, Cameron Sutton. They're all free agents. Then you look at the offense, James Conner, Zach Banner, Matt Filer, Alejandro Villanueva, and Juju Smith-Schuster. They're all free agents. So I think, that's something you have to keep in mind. You have to consider is that, the Steelers have a lot of turnover coming. We'll see how that works. But it's not a guarantee that he necessarily goes there. That's kind of where I feel like he's going to go. But it's no guarantee that they win a Super Bowl. And, one thing I'll say is that I think it'd be really interesting. As soon as J.J. Watt goes into a situation, this is somebody that has been double teamed throughout his career. If he lines up with T.J. Watt, you'd have to imagine the double teams come off him just a tad. Or if not, you're adding more help for T.J. Watt. But moving on, we're going to go with the next one, and that is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And they just won the Super Bowl. So, first off, that's a pretty good selling point, but they have a lot of guys that are gone, or red names, so to speak. You have Chris Godwin, Antonio Brown. You have Josh Wells, A.Q. Shipley, Joe Haig, Rob Gronkowski. I'd imagine most of these guys will be back, but, there's always a cap. Leonard Fournette, LaShawn McCoy. Then you look at, Ndamukong Suh. He becomes a free agent. Steve McClendon, Kevin Minter, Levante David, Shaq Barrett, Ross Cockrell, Deion Buchanan, Andrew Adams. There's a lot of guys here. So, I mean, that's not always ideal. And the thing is, there's a lot of names, but there's huge names like Levante David, Shaq Barrett, Ndamukong Suh, Rob Gronkowski, Leonard Fournette, and Chris Godwin, and Antonio Brown that could all command a lot of money. So you're probably not going to bring every single one of those guys back, no matter how much Bruce Arians wants to make it happen. So you look at this defense, and Ndamukong Suh leaves. You plug J.J. Watt right in next to Vita Vea, William Golston, and Jason Pierre-Paul. That's pretty good. I'm not going to lie. That's very good. And you are arguably upgrading, a position where you were already really good at. So I think, he would be a good fit here. The defense with Devin White, Carlton Davis, Antoine Winfield, Jordan Whitehead, Jamel Dean, and Sean Murphy-Bunting. You'd like to obviously bring back Shaquille Barrett and Levante David, but, that's a pretty good core right off the cuff. So pros, they just won the Super Bowl. This is a team that's already been in the Super Bowl. They have Tom Brady. They have a great coaching staff. Todd Bowles is going to be back. There's continuity with the defense. It seems like a very great franchise to want to play for. Everybody seems super happy. Obviously, you win the Super Bowl, you're happy, but it just never seemed like this team got, really down on themselves all year, or, stayed competitive. And a lot of stuff did happen, and they kept battling through it. So, this is a team that likes to run it back. They brought back Ndamukong Suh, they brought back Jason Pierre-Paul and Shaq Barrett, and they won a Super Bowl because of it. Well, now if they want to win again, and, a guy like J.J. Watt's watching, and, obviously he was watching the Super Bowl and watching, them holding up the Lombardi, he's got to be feeling pretty good. And that's also a warm area. Pittsburgh's colder. If he wants to go to a warm area of the, the country, Tampa, Florida, there you go. So, those are the cons. This is a team that, Tom Brady could fall off a cliff. We haven't seen it happen, but if he turns 44 and all of a sudden it's just on out of the blue, it would hurt this team. I still think this team can win because they're very, very good, but it really remains to be seen how much they're going, how many guys they're going to be able to bring back, how much they'll be able to retain, because if Godwin and Antonio Brown leave, then you just have Evans. You have to figure out how to replace him. If Levante David and Shaq Barrett and Ndamukong Suh leave, then you have to replace them. It can be a little messy. So, we'll see how they go about that. And then the next team we're going to go to is the Los Angeles Rams. And the Rams are a great fit for Watt. I think their scheme fit, they're probably the best fit if you ask me. Because, getting to play with Aaron Donald, I think is exactly what J.J. Watt would need. And I think Aaron Donald would need J.J. Watt. I mean, I think this team, it seems like there's a lot of turnover, but, we talked about the red names, and the Rams don't have anywhere near as many red names as other teams. You look at the Rams, Josh Reynolds. Okay, Austin Blythe, that could be something, but I think they'll be able to replace Blythe. Gerald Everett, Blake Bortles, Malcolm Brown, Derek Rivers, Morgan Fox, Samson Ebukam, Leonard Floyd, Troy Hill, and John Johnson. I feel like with these red names, you're probably looking at John Johnson and Leonard Floyd being significant losses. As good as Troy Hill played, he can be replaced. So you have to look at this defense and think if the Rams can fit J.J. Watt on this defense, you'd have J.J. Watt, Sebastian Joseph Day, and Aaron Donald, or J.J. Watt, Michael Brockers, and Aaron Donald, or J.J. Watt, Ashawn Robinson, and Aaron Donald, or J.J. Watt, Greg Gaines, and Aaron Donald. And I think any of those are great lineups on the defensive line, and you obviously have to like what you see there. Now, what is he going to command? I think he'd want a multi-year deal to play with his brother in Pittsburgh. But if he goes to like the Rams, I think he'd sign on for a 1-year, $8 million deal. I'm not saying this is 100% guaranteed, but I do think that it's certainly a possibility, and I wouldn't rule it out. I wouldn't rule out Les Snead in a year where they've made it very clear. I mean, look at, Raheem Morris. We've heard Sean McVay in the past say, they're just trying to win, their division and then move on. Raheem Morris said, we're here to win a Super Bowl. That's our goal. We want to win Super Bowls. And you can see their tone has changed with the Rams. So I think with that being said, I do think that J.J. Watt becomes a potential. And here's the thing about the Rams that's so scary in this. They can get all these guys, and they have no care in the world about trading assets, but now they don't even have to trade assets. Like they can go out and get J.J. Watt. And one thing that's very important, a very important caveat about this whole situation, is that J.J. Watt doesn't have anything to do with the formula. So what I'm talking about is the compensatory pick formula. It's the It's the Eric Weddle effect. And I said this on Twitter, and someone asked me what I meant. Eric Weddle was cut by the Ravens before the season. When Eric Weddle was signed by the Rams before the new season started, that made it so the Rams didn't have his contract that they paid him a decent amount for. His contract didn't cut into the comp formula because the formula is all based on what happens when free agency starts. So the Rams didn't lose a compensatory pick because they got him, but they lost a compensatory pick when they received They got Clay Matthews. So it's important to realize, how important J.J. Watt is to a team. If you need a guy like that, he's not going to impact your compensatory pick formula at all. And that means you keep your compensatory picks. Maybe you don't get somebody in free agency when it starts, but you get someone beforehand, you pay him, and you don't have to worry about losing assets. You're basically trading assets, though, if you get a free agent nowadays, because they're going for a third, fourth, or fifth round pick. They'll cancel out your third, fourth, fifth round pick. So essentially, what I mean, if you guys want me to explain it better, is like Corey Littleton leaves, you have a fourth round pick, or what have you, and then like you're expected to have a fourth round pick, and then you sign somebody and it cancels that out. So like, say you get Corey Littleton, you're expected to have a fourth round pick, someone for equal lesser value, so around 10 to 12 million. So say you sign Romeo Okwara. Let's just say that. If you sign Okwara, then it cuts out Corey Littleton's compensatory pick. That's how that works. So it's something to keep in mind. And keep in mind, it's for that year. So Littleton wouldn't be this year. Littleton's locked in. If they go, like, as long as they give the Rams, like, we're expecting them to give them a third and a fourth round compensatory, then those are locked in. But it's more so about, like, say John Johnson, for instance. John Johnson leaves, and he's going to command a third round compensatory pick. So the Rams are a great compensatory pick, but then they go out and they decide to sign, Kenny Golladay. Golladay would cancel their third round pick, and they would therefore not get anything in return for John Johnson next season. Just to explain that, make it, that's why J.J. Watt is so valuable. These, before the new year starts, these type of releases are huge. So, you can kind of beat the curve there. You can kind of cheat the system, and that's why I think J.J. Watt is going to be commanded so well. I think the Rams, the pros there, you get to play with Aaron Donald. They're a team that's ready. It seems like they're maybe the favorite in the NFC now. They have Matthew Stafford. I think the cons, there's a brand new defensive coordinator, all sorts of things like that, where there's a lot of turnover with the coaching staff. But I don't think the cons are that big, and I do think, playing in LA is something that I think a lot of people would want to do. So they're legit contender, I would say. And finally, the last team here, the Green Bay Packers. And the reason they're on this list is, one, they're a contender, went to the NFC title game. Two, they are Green Bay, Wisconsin. That's where they are. And J.J. Watt played his college ball at Wisconsin. So, if he wants to go back home, this would be the opportunity. The red names for the Packers, you have Lane Taylor, you have Tavon Austin, you have Corey Linsley, you have Mercedes Lewis, Jamal Williams, Aaron Jones, Montravis Adams, Damon Harrison, James Burgess, Billy Wynn, and Kevin King. For the most part, the Packers will have everybody back. Dean Lowry, who was a fourth-round pick in 2016, has done wonders for them. I think he's played very well. And Tyler Lancaster's been solid as a undrafted free agent in 2018. But you can move on from Lancaster, and if you want to give them an opportunity there, Kingsley Keke is a guy they like a lot in the fifth round at the 2019 draft. I think, to me, you go out and you get J.J. Watt, you pair him with Kenny Clark and Dean Lowry, and then you have Keke coming off the bench. That's a good-looking, thing there, because you also have Rashawn Gary, you have Preston Smith, you have Zadarius Smith, you have Christian Kirksey, you have Chris Barnes, Ty Summers, Kamal Martin. It's a good-looking defense for a new defensive coordinator and former Rams linebackers coach and assistant coach, Joe Barry. So I think that would be an interesting fit as well for J.J. Watt. They have obviously a secondary there with Jair Alexander and Chandon Sullivan and Josh Jackson, Darnell Savage, Adrian Amos, where it's good enough where, you don't worry if you're a pass rusher. There's going to be a lot of ability to rush the passer there. These guys can really shut it down. The Rams can do that. I think going back to the con, if the Rams don't bring back Darius Williams, which, I was told they're 100% bringing him back at this point, but I do think the thing that needs to be said is all of these teams have to, kind of mess around with the cap. I mean, it's not going to be easy to just bring in JJ Watt. It's not, copy and paste into, a depth chart spreadsheet. As, Jake Shavink said, what's up, my man? How you doing? So, I think it's very important to keep that in mind. There's a lot that's going to come about this, because JJ Watt does this, and then, we'll see moving forward. But man, it's fun, right? This off season's getting to be crazy. It really is. I mean, there's all sorts of stuff happening, and I didn't think we'd be talking about the potential of Russell Wilson being traded, or Deshaun Watson or Carson Wentz, Jared Goff, all in the same off season. But here we are, and now Goff and Stafford already went. I think that opened the door for this to be realistic. I think you're going to see a changing of the guard. You're going to see just the landscape of the NFL is going to change based on this offseason. It's going to be massive, and I think it's something that we're all going to enjoy. But that is that on my JJ Watt stuff. Does anyone have any sort of questions, comments, concerns? This isn't going to be a super long live. I just wanted to do this because I haven't done it in a while, and I wanted to connect with all of you. And I wanted to do it because I don't want to spend all day at the office here. I did want to go home at some point. And I felt like if I waited until like 8, I probably would have gotten stuck spending all day at the office. I'm trying to avoid, have better time management skills, avoid staying in one spot all the time. So that's why, I'm doing that. But what position do you think the Rams are going to draft with the second round pick? I mean, I think it's going to be interior offensive line, but there's no guarantee. I mean, obviously you look at guys like Josh Myers, that makes a lot of sense. I wouldn't go with Landon Dickerson because of his extensive injury history. But a guy like Creed Humphrey, if he's there, has to be the favorite. And then, if they don't go interior offensive line, then, they'll likely go edge, I would say. A guy to look out for, Jordan Smith out of UAB would be an interesting one. Quincy Roche out of Miami. Those are two names that I really like. I need to dive in more to the film. I cannot wait to put together my big board. Guys, I can't even tell you the stuff we have planned. We're doing a joint live stream, if you guys don't know, for the draft. Be sure to check us out. It's going to be all 3 days. We're going to be on this platform here. You can catch us. You can catch us on the AJ Show platform, Downtown Rams, Downtown Sports Network, and Adam Steele. It's going to be me, Alexis Kraft, my co-host from the Downtown Rams podcast, and Adam Grego, who's Adam Steele, my co-host for the AJ Show. And we're going to be doing it all right here. We're going to figure it out. I don't know how we're going to do it, but we're going to do it. And it's going to be fun. We're going to have call-ins and set things up and have some fun with it. So, really looking forward to that. You got the TV all set up. You guys can't see it, but it's behind the camera. So we'll be watching the draft and commenting live. And it'll be a lot of fun. I hope you guys join us. I'm hoping, we've done it now. I've done it with Alexis 2 years in a row, and I think it's gone pretty well. But all 3 days is crazy. So we're gonna have fun with it. It's gonna be a little more casual though. It won't be as professional when we get to like day 2 or day 3, especially day 3, because that's 7 straight hours. But we'll constantly be on here. You'll always have somebody doing that, and yeah, I'll just leave it at that. Let's see here. All right. Are you confident with our offense? I really wish that they would figure that out. I don't know what's going on with Streamlabs. That's a horror show waiting to happen with the draft, the live draft. I hope to God that gets fixed, because yeah, it happens and there's nothing I can do about it. It just randomly It does that. The best thing you guys can do is just tell me that it's on mute or that you can't hear me, which you guys always do, and I appreciate it. It looks unprofessional, and I know it. I'm sorry. I would not have it happen if I could, but at any point it can just do that, and I don't know why. It's frustrating as hell. But yeah, to go back to it though, the offensive line, you have your 4 out of 5 starters guaranteed locked in, and then you have the center position, which Austin Blythe is a free agent. I think if you want a home wrecker, a true, mauler at center, then, there's some guys in the draft that I would be interested in. I think the Super Bowl team, the Buccaneers, should inspire some people to go out and get a nasty center like Ryan Jensen that really just sets the tone. Maybe not, skimp on center. Go and get a guy that's going to be a culture changer. And, I'd definitely be good with that. But let's see here. Again, I love how these comments come in and then I'm reading them and then it just scrolls down like crazy. I'm like, so annoying. Janarius Robinson, FS, a beast. I have not seen Janarius Robinson yet. Are we projected to have more compensatory picks? So the Rams are projected to have a 3rd-round compensatory pick for losing Brad Holmes in the front office. He got a GM job as part of the minority coaching program. And then there's another 3rd-round pick for Dante Fowler, losing him in free agency. That'll be a 3rd-round pick. And then a 4th-round pick is expected in return with the loss of Corey Littleton in free agency. The Rams were going to get another one, I believe, for Greg Zuerlein, but they canceled it out because they signed somebody and it canceled out the formula, like I was saying earlier. So, yeah, that's that. Let's see. What are your thoughts on bringing in Avery Williamson? Well, I don't know how long you guys have all been following me, but I was a huge fan of Avery Williamson coming out, of the Tennessee Titans organization as a free agent, and I watched him play, and I felt like he was one of the best run defending linebackers in all of football. Now I think he'd be relatively cheap. He'd be a nice get. I think the Rams should pursue it if they can. He'd be the best linebacker by far on the roster. I mean, he's not a perfect player, and he's suffered some injuries, but I definitely would be down for it for a cheap deal. Yeah, absolutely. It would be better right now if we kept John Franklin Myers. I don't know why we let him go. The only one sacked to Brady in the Super Bowl. I agree with you. I don't know why they let John Franklin Myers go. Have you guys heard the John Franklin Myers interview? I think you guys have. We had him on the show. He's a friend of mine, so he's been on 3 times, but I'll have to get him on this channel, maybe do a live interview, talk about his everything going on with the Jets and everything. You guys be I'm also gonna try and get more interviews on here. I don't know if you guys like that type of content. I do, but if you guys don't, you let me know. I'm a man of the people. What can I say? Let's see. Franklin Myers. Now, who the hell made the decision to let him go? Yeah, I wasn't a fan of that decision. Let's see here. A bunch of muting. Okay. Go-to food for you guys on draft day. Oh, man. Go-to food? I probably would say, looking at our previous experiences with Alexis and I, we went with pizza. So Alexis wasn't with me last year. She was in the show, but she was actually physically in New York with me 2 years ago, and we had this pizza that was the size of her head. It was crazy. I think it was Caputo's. It was either Caputo's or La Bella. But yeah, we normally go with pizza. She's obsessed with coffee, so she'll have a coffee early on. For me, I drink water, and I started a new, workout routine, weight regimen, all that. So you're only going to see this. You're not really going to see soda anymore. So I guess I'm retiring it's sad. I know it's an end of an era, but I am officially announcing on this show that I'm retiring, the Canada Dry and Sprite binge. So sorry. I did see that. That's my guy, Terrell Burgess. I think JJ's going to the Steelers. Josh Myers, I've been watching. He's a beast, beats everyone on the ball. Yeah, Myers is a monster. I love Myers. Do you have a hotkey set up? No, I don't. I don't know why it goes off the way it does. Well, actually, let me see. Maybe I'm hitting something. Hotkeys. Oh, no, there's nothing that would trigger that. Yeah, I don't know. I gotta get my Stream Deck set up. I have a Stream Deck and I barely have it set up, so it's kind of pointless. But you know, I fill up the soda cans with water. Oh man, that's sacrilegious right there. You guys are gonna have to check it out at some point, because I know some of you, most of you, I think most of you, I would say most of you, like WandaVision and like when I talk about WandaVision and Marvel and all that, because this is the Jake Alamoga channel. It's gonna have sports, but I might go off the handle a little bit, and that's just me. You're gonna want to check out the video I did with Ram fan Ashton. He hosts a dope podcast, and I went on and talked about my thoughts on WandaVision episode 6. No spoilers in the comments. I can see you guys. You're gonna spoil. Do not spoil. Do not do it. There will be no spoiling in the comment section. But I wanted to give Ram fan Ashton a shout out because I appreciate him inviting me onto his podcast. It was a lot of fun. We chopped it up for 2 hours. I mean, it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. So definitely check that out when that comes out. What would you put the percentage at for the Rams trading up in the first on draft day? I'd say 5%. I'd probably say they don't. I don't think they trade up, to be honest with you. I'd probably say 0%. I think there's no chance that they trade up after getting Stafford, to be honest. I think they might trade up in the second round, if anything, but I don't think they'll trade in the first. Because they wouldn't have made that trade if they valued any sort of first-round pick. They just don't really care. They know they can get better players later on. Yeah, don't spam. Come on. No spamming. I don't think J.J. Watt's going to the Cowboys. What kind of linebacker does Morris like? Well, I mean, you look, and there's two different guys. There's a guy that does everything in Deion Jones, very, very athletic, more like he's built like a Devin White. And then there's a guy by the name of, well, now I forget his name. What's his face? He used to play Devondre Campbell. There's a guy like Devondre Campbell, bigger linebacker, doesn't move nearly as well as Deion Jones, but is a true thumper in the run game. Deion Jones can kind of do it all. He's a great coverage linebacker. Bulk up wrap and be our Barron linebacker. Well, Barron, he kind of is, honestly, to be honest with you. What's with my guy Wilson? Is he staying in Seattle? Good question. I mean, if Seattle lets Wilson go, they're going to finish last in the NFC West. It's not even up for debate. They're not. The Seattle Seahawks are really not that great of a team. I've been saying that for a while. I think Russell Wilson does so much to carry that team, to be honest with you. J.J. Watt to the Browns. I said Browns were an honorable mention. I have the Steelers, but we'll see. Let's see. I don't see that. See, I saw like someone say like the Patriots are a great fit. I think the Patriots are a horrible fit. J.J. Watt wants to win. J.J. Watt wants to win a Super Bowl. I don't see the Patriots winning a Super Bowl next year. I think J.J. could be taken by the Titans. That would be interesting. That's a name I actually haven't thought of, and it's a great. Actually, that's huge because if Vrabel comes from the Texans. Vrabel became a defensive coordinator. He was originally a linebackers coach, became a defense coordinator with the Texans. I like that. That is a really good. I never thought of Tennessee for some reason. Look, it's Luke. That's a good. Congrats. That's a really good point. That that factor, that familiarity factor with Vrabel. I mean, yeah, absolutely, great point. Do you think we rush since a lot of good quarterbacks are now wanting to leave their team? No, because here's the thing. I think the Stafford deal pushed this. If you ask me, I think the Stafford deal pushed this. I think seeing Stafford go to the Rams and seeing Deshaun Watson become available teams had the internal conversation in-house about their quarterback, and before they may have been okay with him, and now it's like, well, we already had the conversation, so we can move so and so, and I think that's why that's the case. J.J. Watt to the Bills, J.J. to the Panthers. I think J.J. Watt to the Bills, I had them as an honorable mention. That would be a fit. The Panthers I didn't even think of. And the Panthers, I mean, that might not be a bad thing either. I guess the Panthers to me would need to get a quarterback, like a true, like, if they got Deshaun Watson, that changes things. I mean, you have Brian Burns, Kawan Short, Derek Brown, and J.J. Watt with Stephen Weatherly, Yetur Gross-Matos, Ife Bada, Marquise Haynes, and Bravion Roy backing him up. That would not be a bad look. You're welcome. JJ, I don't see JJ going to the Jaguars. No, I don't see that. I can't believe people were saying the Eagles will show the Rams how to make a trade. Yeah, the Eagles don't even know how to trade. They're like, oh, well, you're going to give us 2 firsts and all of your players? Oh, you're not? Okay, well, we're going to keep asking anyway. That trade should have already been done. I hope to God, as somebody that really likes Wentz and wants to see him succeed, he needs to go to the Colts. If he goes to the Bears, he will fail. My friend is a big 49ers fan, and he really thinks JJ or Watson will go to the Niners. I think, the Niners are an option, but I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on with the Niners, to be honest with you. I mean, they don't even know what they're doing at quarterback. They can say they're all in on Jimmy G. Who knows? Who really knows, man? They could easily trade off, Zach Wilson. They have a lot of red names. They have, Trent Williams, Jordan Reed, Kendrick Bourne, Ben Garland, Hronis Grasu, Trent Taylor, Jerick McKinnon, Tevin Coleman, Kyle Juszczyk, Jordan Reed, Solomon Thomas, DJ Jones, Ronald Blair, Jordan Willis, Deion Jordan, Ziggy Ansah, Kerry Hyder, Joe Walker, Jason Verrett, Jaquiski Tartt, Richard Sherman, Dante Johnson, Akella Witherspoon. I mean, Jamar Taylor. That's a long list. We'll see. I mean, I don't think they're a Super Bowl team, to be honest with you. I just don't. Okay. Do you see Deshaun going to somebody like Chicago or New York? If he wants to win, he should go to Indianapolis or San Francisco. I don't think Deshaun Watson has the same desire to have to win now as J.J. Watt. I think he started off like, these are the places I want to go, but now I think he's just going to tell the Texans flat out, just trade me. I don't even care where you trade me, just trade me. Get me the hell out of this situation. I think that's ultimately where we're leaning right now for, Deshaun Watson. This is somebody that doesn't like Yeah, I'll never understand why it does that. Apologies. Um yeah, here it comes, all the mute comments. Yep, appreciate you guys. So obnoxious that it does that. Cuz I'm not muting it, it just keeps cutting out and I don't know why. My all of the cords and everything are connected and there's nothing tugging on anything. Like, it's just obnoxious. I'm trying to keep watching it though as I continue to talk, but yeah, I mean, I just think, like, J.J. Watt is going to want to win now because his career is coming to an end. We don't know when he'll retire, but it's more likely coming to an end than Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson will go anywhere, I think, at this point. He just wants to get the hell out of his situation. J.J. Watt, though, he's 32, 33 years old. Like, he wants to go win a Super Bowl. That's the difference. So that's why I don't think J.J. Watt's going to go to the 49ers. I don't think J.J. Watt's going to go to a team like the Panthers. I think J.J. Watt's going to go to a team like the Rams, the Bucks, the Steelers, the Packers. I think it has to be a team that is competing for it all, and that's why I think those teams. But I mean, Kansas City could be an option as well. I think Kansas City is going to take a step back. I don't think they make the Super Bowl next year. I'm pretty certain that they don't, but we'll see. To the Raiders, that'd be interesting. I know John Gruden would want him. I think the Colts are an option. Yeah, no, I feel that. I'd love Marvin Jones on the Rams, Denise. I know J.J. Watt doesn't go through things like the easy way, but it wouldn't be the easy way out if he went to a Super Bowl team. The Bucks could. I definitely think the Chiefs are going to take a step back, though. I'm pretty confident that's going to end up happening. Yeah, I mean the Steelers. It begs the question: are they really a Super Bowl team? We'll see. I think they're a good team. I think they're up there. They have to figure out their offensive line. I mean, Marquise Pouncey just retired, and Alejandro Villanueva is a free agent, and so is Matt Filer. I mean, those are your left guard, your right guard, or sorry, your left guard, your left tackle, and your center. And you really just have Dotson, Kevin Dotson, a guy that they got from Louisiana Lafayette. So I mean, that's not easy. They're really going to have to do a lot of thinking there. Oh, the Chargers, that's a good one. I don't know why no one's mentioned the Chargers. I didn't even mention the Chargers. That would be something else. JJ can't go to Pittsburgh if Big Ben can't do the stuff for the offense. I thought Big Ben had a pretty good year last year. Why do you think the Chiefs will take a step backwards? Well, okay, so I've talked about this before, but in case anybody doesn't remember when I was discussing it on the Super Bowl, I said the Super Bowl essentially it's not a runner-up scenario. You win or you die. And I understand that the Patriots lost the Eagles and then came back and won the very next season, but they're a different animal. And I think the Chiefs losing, they could literally die. They lost 31-9. Patrick Mahomes was doing everything himself. I look at a defense that continues to just be complacent and not upgrade. To me, the Chiefs, I don't think their defense was as good as the year prior. And I'll say this over and over again. Patrick Mahomes doesn't have he doesn't have these top weapons. I mean, look, Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce are superstars, but I would rather have the Rams group of guys because they're consistent. I don't want, teams to be able to shut down Travis Kelce and, Tyreek Hill, and then all of a sudden I have to throw to Demarcus Robinson and Sammy Watkins, who are both free agents, and Mecole Hardman and Byron Pringle and Garrick Dieter. I mean, I just think they need a few other guys. And it's not any excuse for Mahomes. It's just the way I see it is that the Chiefs I could definitely see them falling off because they have been complacent in upgrading their team, in my opinion. Sure, they added Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and I love that move. But also, you look at the offensive line and the starters. Kelechi Osemele, he is free agent. Austin Reiter, free agent. Mike Remmers, free agent. Daniel Kilgore, free agent. There's a lot of free agents here. Demarcus Robinson, Sammy Watkins, Mike Pennell, Taco Charlton, Alex Okafor, Tano Passano, Damian Wilson, Daniel Sorensen, Bashad Breeland, and Antonio Hamilton. So, I mean, I just think that there's a lot of turnover here. They're coming off a brutal loss in the Super Bowl. We saw the Rams miss the playoffs the very next year. I think the Rams were a better team than this Chiefs team. I know the Chiefs won a lot of games. I get it. But they're the Mahomes show, man. The Rams won a lot of games because they were the all-around better team. But, this Chiefs team is the Mahomes team. They have good players, but I think this upcoming year they could go 10-6, and I wouldn't be surprised if they did. They have a tough looking, they honestly they're gonna have a first place schedule again. They have a tough-looking, division because now I think the Chargers are going to go to the Super Bowl. I've said that. Rams-Chargers is my Super Bowl pick. So I think that the Chargers are going to give them fits. I think that the Raiders could steal a game because I think the Raiders aren't out of, the Deshaun Watson sweepstakes. And then, Denver as well. Denver had a lot of injuries to start the season. They were supposed to be a lot better. So I think, Kansas City could have a step back this upcoming season. I just think that they don't really have enough there, and I think it's clear. As far as Tampa, there's a lot of guys there, but I think that ultimately, they'll probably end up being fine because I think they're more of a complete team, which is why I picked them in the Super Bowl to begin with. So that's my thoughts on that. Do they announce when they restructure player contracts? They absolutely do, Masanori. We just, we'll find out when we find out. Watt might have to take less than 10 mil for a year. A lot of Super Bowl teams are against the cap. Yeah, I know. It's crazy. And they lowered the cap this year, so, I was talking about the Packers. Hey, don't sleep on Dean Lowry. Dean Lowry's a good football player. Walshawn. It's Tyler Lancaster that he'd be starting over. Dean Lowry can play in this league. I honestly like their defensive line because I like Kingsley Keke a lot, and I like Dean Lowry, and obviously Kenny Clark is one of the best interior defensive linemen in all of football. So, you add TJ Watt or you add JJ Watt there, and I'm now 1-17 in picking Super Bowls. I have a curse. Sounds to me like you just pick Rams. Let's not forget Jaguars. I mean, do you guys think the Jaguars are going to be any good, though? I look at their team and I'm like, it's all right. I mean, I think this whole thing is going to be a total mess, to be honest with you. I think Darrell Bevell was a horrible decision to go after as offensive coordinator. Urban Meyer, everyone was like, well, Urban Meyer has all of these connections. Urban Meyer is going to get all of these guys from college, and he just keeps hiring these guys in the NFL that haven't really had success. So I don't know. I don't get it. It's not to knock. Like, if you guys are, like, any Jaguars fans in here, like, I rooted for the Jaguars in the 2017 playoffs, so, like, I don't have any ill will against the Jaguars. And my uncle is a Jaguars fan, so, and, like, I talk to him a lot, so, I don't hate on them, but, like, I just have concerns. I mean, Keelan Cole's a free agent, Dede Westbrook, Chris Conley, Cam Robinson, Tyler Shatley, James O'Shaughnessy, Chris Thompson, Avery Jones, Adam Gostis, Dwayne Smoot, who, by the way, who is a 2017 third-round pick, was a monster this year. I thought he played super well, fun to watch. I thought he really started to turn it on this year, develop. So I think he'd be a significant loss if they don't bring him back. Josh Jones, Greg Mabin, Aaron Lynch, Sidney Jones, and DJ Hayden. Those are all of the red names on this team. And I think that's, it's important to bring that up. So if you were Green Bay, would you rather sign Watt or re-sign Lindsley? It's Lindsley, in my opinion, Jake. I think Lindsley is definitely the more valuable guy. And, you have to build on the offensive line is so key. As long as you keep Rodgers protected, he can do it all. I've seen him do everything. But, when you look at Corey Lindsley here, this is a guy that you just nailed in the draft. 2014 fifth-round pick. He's somebody 9 years old. You sign him to, I think, because he's 29, he's probably going to get a 4-year deal. I'd probably do a 3-year deal. But he's definitely a guy that I would prefer him over Watt if I'm a Packers fan, because the Packers are fine. They don't 100% need Watt. Watt is more of an addition, and Watt is the only reason he's being connected to them is because of the Wisconsin ties. So it's not even like that strong in my opinion, but we'll see. Yes, Denise, Aaron Donald can restructure 100%, and he should, and I expect he will. I agree completely. Packers fans would disagree. Well, Jake, I'm sure you deal with it all the time. There's a lot of people that will say that you're wrong and whatnot, but it may not be the sexiest thing to talk about, but the offensive line is the most important. And if you don't have an offensive line, we've seen it. Matthew Stafford played with a UCL tear in his elbow and his thumb. And, to me, I look at Matthew Stafford this year without and look, I'll say this. I thought Terrell Crosby played well on the offensive line, deserves some credit. And I thought Frank Ragnow going out there with a broken throat and playing, I was really impressed with him. But on film, a guy that a lot of just random fans would say is really good because they've heard his name before. They watched him at Ohio State. Taylor Decker struggled, man. He did not have a good season. So I think it's really important to keep your quarterback healthy, keep him upright. And center is so important because honestly, we don't know the true, we'll never know for sure how Goff just completely fell off a cliff. But one thing I'll say is that Goff immediately fell off as soon as John Sullivan retired in 2018. At the end of the 2018 season when they lost the Super Bowl, John Sullivan retired at center. He wasn't the best center in the world, and he was really good early on in his career, but they got him at the end of his career. But what John Sullivan did, it was more so the protections and helping Goff. I think they really missed him. Centers do more than just block, and that's the thing, is that they're really important. And I think Corey Linsley, he's always been a very, very, very good player, very solid player. Always put him at the top of the list for centers, top 5, I'd say. So I would absolutely 100% bring him back, no doubt. Hey Jake, I haven't followed the Chargers. They've been pretty terrible past couple of years. Are they loaded with talent that I don't know about? What do you think they'll get to, why do you think they'll get to the Super Bowl? Great question. So when I look at the Chargers, first off, it might piss off some people. I hate to break it to you folks that are Rams fans here, and I know there's a lot of you here. The Chargers are the Rams were when they got Sean McVay. They're 7-9. They won 4 straight games. They ended up firing their head coach. It became a very good destination for anybody that wanted to get their foot dipped in the water and be a head coach. And look, this team has a franchise quarterback that's way ahead of where Jared Goff was when Sean McVay got him. We could talk about how Goff improved in 2017 and 18. Justin Herbert's already offensive, rookie of the year. So you have him. You have an offensive line that needs to develop a little bit more, but, Brian Bulaga, if he stays healthy, is a solid right tackle, and you're not getting out of that deal, so you're pretty much stuck with him. But again, solid offensive tackle. He's not quite what he used to be. Then you have Trey Turner, very solid player. You have Scott Kessenberry now with Mike Pouncey retiring. That's going to free up a lot of cap, so they could go out and get a center. Dan Feeney and Forrest Lamp are free agents, so Tyree St. Louis would be the guy next in line. I'd imagine they'll go with the left guard at some point in the draft or free agency. And then they have Trey Pipkins, a 3rd-round pick out of Sioux Falls that they really, really like. They're really high on. So their offensive line, it looks bad on paper last year, but I don't think it's all that bad moving forward. They'll make a couple additions, and that'll be that. But when you look at the weapons there, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Jalen Guyton, and Tyron Johnson, and KJ Hill, a guy that they got in the 2020 draft, as well as Joe Reed, I think they're good enough weapons, man, to be honest with you, for Justin Herbert. They have Austin Eckler, Justin Jackson, and Joshua Kelly. Kalen Ballage is a free agent. I would bring him back if I were them. He was really good in that rotation. We'll see. They have Gabe Neighbors, a guy that can be a fullback, or he can be your running back, UDFA. And then that's just the offense. They had Brandon Staley here. Oh, by the way, Hunter Henry is a free agent, so we'll see where that goes. Donald Parham, I thought, took serious steps moving forward throughout the season when they got him in action. I really like him out of Stetson. But when you look at, say, the defense, though, now you bring in a guy, like a Brandon Staley, who can be kind of the Sean McVay, but this time it's on the defensive side. You have the offense pretty much set up. You're going to have to make some adjustments on the offensive line, but for the most part, you set up your defense. And now, why are they my Super Bowl pick to make the Super Bowl for the AFC? Well, they have Joey Bosa, Linval Joseph, Justin Jones, Jerry Tillery. Tillery is a first-round pick in 2019, hasn't gotten enough credit. I think he's going to be a good player for a long time. They're also going to be able to add some other guys to this team. Melvin Ingram's going to be a free agent. They have Uchenna Nwosu. Nick Vigil's going to be a free agent. They'll upgrade that position, no doubt. Kaiser White is somebody I really like, a fourth rounder out of West Virginia in 2018, a guy that was originally supposed to be a defensive back. They've transferred over to linebacker, and he's made a nice little he carved out a nice little niche there. Kenneth Murray is there. Amike Abule is there. Drew Tranquil, Malik Jefferson, if they can get anything out of him. So I like their front seven, and then in their depth there, and then they have Casey Hayward. They still have Chris Harris Jr. And a guy that people just don't give enough credit to. In Michael Davis, he's actually a free agent. I would imagine they'll try to bring him back. They have Nasir Adderley, Derwin James. So look, there's a lot of pieces here. The Chargers have a lot of pieces. They have a defensive coordinator in Brandon Staley who's really done a nice job, I think. Obviously, going back to what he did with the Rams, he was already a really good linebacker coach going back to the Chicago Bears, then to the Denver Broncos. So he's only just moved his way up. And now, he adds Joe Lombardi as his OC, solid OC, not somebody that I would, go, obsessing over. Ronaldo Hill is going to be his defensive coordinator. So it'll be interesting. I think at the end of the day, though, that this is a team that, Joey Bosa and Derwin James are like having Donald and Ramsey. It's going to be a step below it. They're not quite on that tier. But we can't act like, a guy like Brandon Staley doesn't have that. And you could argue if this defense is in the top 5 and this offense can score better than the Rams last year, this team might be better off than the Rams were last year. So we'll see. They, again, 7-9, 6 of those, 9 losses or whatever came down on the wire. And 2 of them, I believe, went to overtime. So, I mean, this is a team, though, that they can do it. I really think that they're a lot better than the team that Sean McVay got from Jeff Fisher, the 4-12 team. The Chargers are a 7-9 team, and this is a no-brainer. By the way, this is why I have no issue with Staley going, because if you're a coach wanting to be a head coach and you see a position like this come up, it is a no-brainer. You do it every time. So yeah, that's how I would answer your question. I think they have a lot going for them. The Chargers are my dark horse, and luckily I'll have a lot of video evidence if I'm right. You guys will be able to go back to every one of these live streams when I said Chargers. And I'm not saying I'm a fan. I'm not a Chargers fan. I'm a Rams fan. But I love the NFL in general, and I watch all games, and I follow everybody that I can. And the Chargers, to me, they're my pick in the AFC. And who give the Chargers competition on the AFC side? I mean, well, I think it's going to be really interesting what Miami does, because Miami, with Brian Flores, I mean, that team looked really good last year, and they just missed the playoffs basically because Ryan Fitzpatrick got hurt, or he had COVID, whatever it was, he was out. And also they forced playing Tua Tagovailoa on Brian Flores. The red names are a little much for my liking. You have, Julian Davenport, Ted Karras. You have Ryan Fitzpatrick, Matt Breida, Devon Godchaux, Camu Grigor-Hill, Vince Beagle, Landon Roberts, Kayvon Frazier. It's not a ton. I actually think that's pretty good. So for the most part, their starters are intact, actually, because you look and it's Tua Tagovailoa, Myles Gaskin, Devontae Parker, Preston Williams, Austin Jackson, Eric Flowers. Ted Karras is going to be somebody who goes into free agency as a center. Could be a hot commodity there. Michael Dieter, a guy that they got in the 3rd round of the 2019 draft, is the backup, though, so he could be an option. Solomon Kindley, Robert Hunt, a 2nd-round pick. Solomon Kindley, a 4th-round pick. They really like those two. And then they have Durham Smythe, Mike Gesicki, and Adam Shaheen at tight end. Then you look at the defense. Christian Wilkins, Godchaux is going to be a free agent, a 2017 5th-round pick. Would imagine they either bring him back or they just let him go, and it wouldn't be a big deal. They have a 5th-round pick in 2020, Jason Strobridge from UNC. He could fit in, not nose tackle, but he can fit in this rotation. Raekwon Davis, a 2nd-round pick out of 2020. Benito Jones, a UDFA. Emmanuel Ogbah took a serious step last year, became one of the top pass rushers in all of football last year. We'll see if he continues that trend. Jeremiah Ledbetter, a free agent that they like. Zach Seiler. Andrew Van Ginkel had a huge year last year. Shaq Lawson. Then you have Jerome Baker. You have Calvin Munson and Kyle Van Noy. So they could add a little bit to that linebacker depth. Byron Jones, Bobby McCain, Xavier Howard, Noah Igbenogany, their first-round pick in 2020. He's going to obviously play a lot more this upcoming season. He'll probably take over for one of those guys, probably Bobby McCain at the nickel. And then you have safeties, Eric Rowe, and Kayvon Frazier's going to be a free agent. So Brandon Jones, their third-round pick out of Texas in 2020. I think that this is a team that has a lot of talent. This is another team that just isn't being talked about enough. Brian Flores is a hell of a coach. I mean, all their starters are coming back except for Godchow, Karras, and Landon Roberts. And I think Landon Roberts he was struggling anyway. So, yeah, I mean, that would definitely be a team to watch out for. Competing against the Chargers, the Bills, of course, what they can do with Josh Allen. Then I look at the Ravens. They're gonna be a tough one. The Bengals, I would say they're gonna be interesting. I don't necessarily know if next year they compete on that level, but if Joe Burrow stays healthy, they're probably a different team. I look at the Steelers, for instance. They'll be there. The Browns will be up there. The Colts will be up there. I'm a big fan of the Colts. I think they're just missing a quarterback. The Titans, Jaguars, I would say no. So to answer your question, I would say the Bills. Well, let's just say this, okay? The AFC teams that have a chance of making the playoffs and going to the Super Bowl, not necessarily winning, but potentially going. Miami, the Bills, Ravens, Steelers, Browns. I don't know why I'm counting like this. That doesn't help. Miami, Bills, Ravens, Steelers, Browns. So there's 5 right there. Colts, 6. Titans, 7. Broncos, I don't know. I'm going to take the Broncos out for now. Chiefs, Chargers, and I don't know about the Raiders either. So, you have about around 10 teams, 10 or 11 teams that can probably represent the AFC. I think the teams that I don't know. I just Miami's really intriguing, and they're the wild card in all of this because they don't have their quarterback yet. And so same thing with Indy. I just think with Indy, they get a Carson Wentz and Reich fixes Carson Wentz. Good luck. And if the Dolphins go out and say they throw caution to the wind and they're like, we're not going to ride with Tua. We have an early first-round pick. We'll go out and we'll get somebody else. And they go out and they get Zach Wilson, or they get they get Fields. I almost said Landry Fields. I want everyone to laugh at me because I almost said that, and I want you to know that I almost said that because that's pathetic. It's Justin Fields, not Landry Fields. Landry Fields was a subpar basketball player for the Knicks. My God. So, Justin Fields, Trey Lance, Miami could do a lot. They could also make a trade. They have 2 first-round picks because of the trade, with the Houston Texans when they got rid of, what the hell's his name? Laramie Tunsil. So we'll see. If they want to go out and get Deshaun Watson, by all means, if they do that, Miami is your favorite in the AFC. I think they might even surpass the Chargers, to be honest with you. They have such a good roster. They need to add a little bit, but they have a really good roster. Anybody else? Any questions on anything? I've been kind of going off on a tangent here. I guess some people like it since we're over 100 people watching still, but You guys like that? Me rattling off the depth charts? I have my notes here. It's not like I'm doing it off the top of my head. I used to be able to do it off the top of my head. Now I'm so busy all the time, and I don't have as good of memory. But for the most part, though, the notes actually don't. So keep this in mind, because I know people were probably like, "Oh, he has notes. It's no big deal." Colleges, though, I actually like, they stick in my head. Like I was talking about Brandon Jones, like my notes don't show me like Brandon Jones went to Texas. I just know Brandon Jones went to Texas. So thanks, appreciate that, David. Always glad to have a solid tangent, right? I think J.J. Watt's going to the Steelers. Thanks, Mark. I try to be as much of a beast as I can. I think it helps the channel, helps you guys. You guys are getting, content that at least I think the content's good. If you guys don't, I mean, again, I'm a man of the people. Yeah, I mean, I get it, I guess. I don't really get it. JJ Watt would absolutely, I mean, that'd be terrifying. I don't get not liking JJ Watt. I don't know. I guess, I mean, since I just mentioned the AFC, I guess just for fun, we'll look at the NFC. Um, yeah, that'd be interesting if he played for Green Bay. I don't think Russell Wilson leaves. No, I don't. Looking at the NFC for teams that I think can win a Super Bowl or contend. Um, Washington. Okay, so Washington, if they get a quarterback, hear me out. If Washington just goes out and gets Marcus Mariota, they could be something. I think they're quarterback away. Um, God, the Packers, obviously. The Vikings, maybe. What are the Vikings doing? Like, what is their ultimate goal? Are they trying to win a Super Bowl? Like, what's going on there? I don't know. The Falcons, no. Panthers, absolutely yes. They were my pick to win the division this year. think I'm a year off on them. I think they're going to explode next year. They need to get a quarterback, but I think if they had Christian McCaffrey, they would have won at least 10 games. A lot of those games came down to the wire. You can't. Yeah, there it is, Ashton. Yeah, no, I don't think you can count out the Panthers, to be honest with you. I think Matt Rule has done a phenomenal job. So, we'll see. The Saints, I here's what I'll say is that I love Jameis Winston. I think Winston's going to be a great quarterback for them, but I don't know if the Saints are going to win a Super Bowl with Jameis Winston. I think the Saints are going to be pretty much the Saints. I think they're probably going to win 10, 11 games. That'll be that. The Buccaneers, yes, the Buccaneers obviously are there. The Cardinals, yes, they're obviously there. The 49ers, they could be. The Seahawks, if they trade Russ, no. If they keep Russ, yes. If the Rams, simply put, the Rams, I think, are the favorites in the NFC. It's them, it's the Packers, it's the Bucks. In the AFC, to me, it's the Chargers. Because I don't think the Chargers need to add a ton. So I think it's the Chargers. I think it is the Steelers. And I would probably say the Ravens or the Titans or somebody along those lines. And if Miami gets a quarterback, they'd be in that conversation, as well as Kansas City. I won't entirely rule out Kansas City, but I'm not as high on them as everyone else. So that's where I stand on that. Does anybody have any other questions, or should I head out of here? Are you guys going to push me away? Oh, Lord. Amari Gaynor. Man, I've seen that name so many times. Yo, what are some realistic inside linebackers we can get in the draft? I mean, you could get Dylan Moses. You could get you could get Cameron McGrone from Michigan. Doing things off the top of my head is really stupid. I'm sorry. Yeah, you could Chaz Surratt obviously is a guy I like. Jabril Cox, Pete Werner. I don't think Nick Bolton will go that low. Monty Rice. Baron Browning from Ohio State. Yeah, I'd probably just say those guys for now. Ideal offensive line for the Rams. So I'd probably say start off with Whitworth at left guard. Because I love Joseph Noteboom, but I don't think he's a guard. So I'd probably go with David Edwards at left guard. At center, I'd go with... actually, screw that. Whitworth, I'd put Corbett at left guard. I'd grab a center in the draft, so it'd either be Josh Myers or Creed Humphrey. Right guard would be Edwards or Evans. And then right tackle would be Havenstein. If I'm not doing too much. If we're trading Havenstein, then Evans at right tackle, Edwards at right guard, and that's your offensive line. Here's the thing. I don't hate Tua. I just don't think Tua is ready to lead this team. I think Tua, first off, the injury history has always concerned me. That I need to make that very clear. But second, I kind of feel like, oh, well, I can't say what I feel like because what I feel like is that they should have just listened to me and taken, they should have just taken Justin Herbert, like I said, but, Yeah, I like Snowden a lot. Yeah, I'm excited to see who the new coaches are for the Rams for sure. Cam Newton's finished if the Patriots don't bring him back. You guys check out the new podcast, by the way. Assuming I'm not everyone in here is a Rams fan, I know that, but most of you are, so I figured I would ask about the Downtown Rams podcast because we actually, I'll drop the link if you guys are interested, but we just dropped our first draft season episode of the season. We got Louisiana Tech lineman Donovan Campbell and Virginia running back Shane Simpson on. If you want to check that out, I see there's a Virginia fan in here. If you want to check that out, by all means, you can right here with this link. So that's our podcast link, and we interviewed those guys. It's a lot of fun, always a lot of fun. And does anyone want in on the Discord? I actually renamed it if anybody is interested in going there. It's the Downtown Rams and Jake Ellenbogen community. It's no longer just Downtown Rams. Let's see. Thanks, Mark. Appreciate you. Oh, the protein shake. Oh, I wish I had it in here. Yes. If you guys are interested in that, let me hit you up with that. Okay, 1 second. So, it's called Ghost, and my buddy Alec showed it to me, and I believe this is the link. You can get 20% off your Ghost purchase, and let's see here. So you just go to Ghost, you go to ghostlifestyle.com, and then it has like the best whey protein on like the friggin' planet. So the Discord link is there. The Ghost link is there. My affiliate link is there. If you want to use my affiliate link, it'll get you 20% off. It's the one before the dash. It'll get you 20% off your order of all your first order of all Ghost products. Highly recommend. I use Gamer, which is a more of like kind of keeping you awake and focused. I use the whey powder, the whey protein. They literally have Chips Ahoy, and it's amazing. And then I use the greens for getting my daily green vegetables in there. I already eat green vegetables as it is, but can't go wrong with having another supplement. So yeah, that's in there. And again, I'm not promoting it yet, but if you guys want to, because it's not part of our deal, so to speak. But I'll just say this. Trying to get the gains, yeah. No, I've been on that binge lately. So there's that in there. I can't say it yet on the live because they're not sponsoring yet. They're not sponsoring this show yet. To be honest, like it's in March there'll be an official sponsor. But I just wanted to drop that in the comments for anybody that wanted to check it out. Pretty cool to have the sponsorship. Not gonna lie, but would I prefer the Rams sign either Marvin Jones Jr. or John Ross III? Marvin Jones. Marvin Jones is a better high point, receiver of the ball. Somebody that I think has better size, somebody that has had consistent production in this league, and somebody that has the familiarity factor with Matthew Stafford that I just don't think Matt, Ben, somebody that I just don't think can go past the wayside. You know what I mean? I just think the fact that you have that continuity with somebody. Stafford's been throwing to Jones for like 5 years, so I think it'd be a better option than going with John Ross. I feel like there's so many people like I dropped the link like, oh, I just bought that. And I'm like, are you gotta be kidding me? Oh boy. I don't think he's gonna go to the Seahawks. But we'll see. We will see. So I'm gonna drop the link now. This is coming to this is like the end of our show. But yeah, so I've been hitting the yeah, I don't think Juju's coming to the Rams. If anybody's interested in making some money before I leave, you gotta try out affiliate marketing. If you want to make thousands of dollars a year to take care of bills and what have you, make money on the side, make money when you're sleeping, then you want to check out affiliate marketing. I just took the course, pretty awesome. Just made a few sales, but you can do that right here. It's at Gumroad. You sign up for that course. It'll teach you all the ins and outs. I'll tell you right now, it's been really impressive what I learned from that course. It's helped me even with this. It's helped me with building my personal brand. The other day, I just looked at my analytics on Twitter. I had 2.4 million impressions on Twitter over the last 28 days. So I think it's really cool if you're trying to grow your Twitter, you could use it. But affiliate marketing is a really good way to create passive income and constantly bringing in money. Because it's really important at this point. With everything going on, you never know. Emergency funds, all that. Plus, if you want to engage in the stock market, you don't have the stocks, you don't have the side money. to pay for those stocks or what have you, then, this is the way to go. So you sign up for that, and, it's awesome. It helps you. It's going to teach you how to really build your brand on Twitter, on all social media. Just straight up. I mean, again, it's going to give you tools to help you make thousands every year. 50% commission after the course you're done with it. You just contact, Midnight Underdog, who the course is by on Gumroad. You get paid weekly every Friday. And you're going to learn techniques to help you grow and strategies that are going to work. So just wanted to throw that out there. If you guys are interested, I dropped the link. It's gumroad.com. You can see that link. It's $35. As soon as you hit that, there's a lot of material that I learned in that. So yeah, no, there's no there's no dope that I will be selling. Not that. No, I'm just me. I have a side hustle. I'm building my brand, and just highly recommend it if anybody's trying to make extra cash on the side. I don't promote. Here's another thing. I don't promote anything just to promote it. I only promote things that I believe in. So my testimonial is based on my experience. I'm having good experience with it. I've had a good experience with it. It helped me. That's why I'm telling you. It's not to, throw you a curveball. It's not to push you in any direction. It's just like, hey, it's there if you want to check it out. Highly recommend it. If you have any questions, you can DM me. We can talk about it. Always open to that. But yeah, affiliate marketing is amazing, because the thing is, once you learn how to do it, once you learn how to get good at sales are like a life thing. As long as you're good at sales, you can sell people on anything. And, the thing is about the Checkmate affiliate marketing, though, is it's not just about that course. You can sell that course at a 50% commission after you finish it, and, to your buddies, your parents, whatever. But the thing that's so important, though, is that affiliate marketing can be used with Amazon. It can be used with Walmart. It can be used with all sorts of things. I mean, I could just throw something right now and say, like, for instance, ExpressVPN. You can get 15% off ExpressVPN if you put in promo code DTSN. Like, that's my point, is that you can continue to use affiliate marketing in your everyday life and just kind of throw stuff at the wall and see what sticks. And you can make money. And I'm telling you, you put a link on, say, Twitter, right? You blow up your Twitter. And what happens? Well, when you blow up your Twitter and people are constantly clicking on that link, then you literally can be in bed. You can be asleep. I woke up this morning and I had 3 sales. So, you know what I mean? Like, you can wake up in the morning and have made money while you sleep. That's the thing. So if anybody's interested in checking that out, it's called Checkmate Affiliate Marketing. It's a $35 course. Get paid weekly, 50% commission, growth techniques, and strategies that are going to work. I wouldn't be pushing it if I didn't believe in it. So, have you looked into being a scout for a team or agent for a player? Yeah, actually, I have. I decided, to me, I want to be my own boss. We'll see down the road if that changes, but I want to build my own brand, and I want to inspire people to do the same. For me, I'm really into sports. Obviously, you guys know that I have my knowledge here, and I have my, fan base here, and just I love YouTube and, just the community in general. But I mean, it's YouTube, it's Twitter, it's Facebook, it's Instagram. I don't really like Facebook or Instagram, but I'm trying to, stomach them. And, I just kind of feel like right now, with this anyway, I'm pushing forward, with this channel. We're at 2.5K, okay? My goal is to hit 20,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and I know I'm going to hit it. I know you guys might laugh at me. I'm going to hit it. I'm going to hit it. I'm very confident I'm going to hit it. I'm going to just nail this content. I'm going to push it out for you guys, and we're going to keep growing, and it's going to be a lot of fun, and you too. But, I just think at the end of the day, this is what I want to do. I mean, I want to do this full time, because if I could someday, say quit my day job, literally, I'm doing this full time. I don't need a ton of money. I just need enough to live on. And as soon as I have that, then I'll just continue doing this. We'll be able to put like obscene amounts of content and have, super detailed content and upgrade the equipment and get like professional cameras going and everything. That's my goal. I just want to take this thing to the absolute top that it can be. Same thing with anything I do. The Downtown Rams podcast, same exact thing. The AJ show, same exact thing. So, basically that is why I've decided not to go into scouting or anything like that. I'm not pushing to be a scout or work in the NFL at the moment. If that ever comes up and I have to make a decision, then, so be it. But, I really appreciate you guys mentioning me in that conversation. I mean, it means a lot that you think of me in that high regard. But, for me, it's just I love, coming on camera, talking with you guys, having this show, being able to say whatever the hell I want, and you guys are just going to keep, respecting me, and it means a lot. And when I say whatever the hell I want, I mean, like, within reason. I'm not saying being, like, a jerk. I'm just saying I'm talking about affiliate marketing, and you guys aren't, like, leaving. I'm saying I'm talking about crypto, and you guys don't leave. I'm saying I talk about Marvel, and you guys still, comment and you interact. It's not just a straight-up sports show. It never has been. It's been my show. And so, I really appreciate that. But, another thing that I want to make very clear, and with my tweets lately, is that I've looked at it. I've always tried to help people. So, like, if anybody, like, ever DMs me and asks me, hey, what mic are you using? Like, Jake asked me the other day, Jake Shavink, you should go follow him on Twitter, by the way. He's a great follow, great content creator, and a friend of mine. You can see him, Jake Shavink NFL. And also go sub his YouTube as well. But Jake asked me straight up. He's like, "Hey, I love your thumbnails. How do you get them done?" And like, I just flat out, I was just like, "Oh yeah, I go on Canva, man. Appreciate it." Like, and now he's using Canva, and that's the thing is like, I'll literally help out anybody that needs it. If they want to know my equipment, if they want to know what this monitor is right here, if they want to know like how to get this laptop, any of this, I literally will help you. Like just reach out. I'm busy. I may not get to you immediately. It may take a day. It may take two. It may take a week. But I'm always willing to help out. You see this thing right here. You don't actually, but you see this thing right here, the mic. Like I'm always willing to put in links if it'll help. If you guys want reviews on these mics, be more than happy to do that. The Stream Deck, whenever I decide to get this thing freaking ready, then I could review that. I mean, man, everything, my setup. I just want everybody around me to succeed. Good people deserve success, and I just kind of feel like, I enjoy talking sports and all that, but I feel like I'm wanting to become more of an influencer as well. Not more of, but I want to add being an influencer to my repertoire. I obviously got into affiliate marketing. I'm getting into stocks. As you guys know, I've gotten bigger into stocks lately. So I just want to be a well-rounded person that just does things that I enjoy. And ultimately, I want my full-time job to have to do with sports. But man, I mean it. Like, I'm not just, blowing smoke out my butt. Like, I'm serious. Like, if you guys have any questions about anything I do, any of the tickers, how I get things the way I get them, I was once like you. I had no idea what I was doing. I had all sorts of microphones. I went through the Blue Yeti, the Blue Raspberry. I literally interviewed George Kittle on my cell phone. And I'll post that someday. The quality is horrible. And my interviewing skills were horrible. But you get better over time. Anything that you're doing, you get better with experience. And so, if anybody has any questions about anything whatsoever, always DM me. Be sure to follow me at JKBoganDTSN. I do follow back, and I am, somewhat interactive on Twitter. Facebook, Instagram, things like that. I'm not as interactive, but it's more so because I just don't love the platforms. I'm going to try to get in Instagram now, try to figure out and study the algorithm because they changed the algorithm and I need to learn that. But yeah, I just, I can't stress it enough. So if you guys are interested in learning more about anything, just hit me up. Appreciate you guys. I would go on and on and on, but I'm getting a little hungry and I have a different health regimen now where I can't go like 5 hours streaming without eating. So, and I understand we're not 5 hours or whatever, but you get my point. Appreciate you guys though. It's been a lot of fun. I'll try to be back tomorrow. But we'll see, but yeah, I mean it. Check out the affiliate marketing course. If at the very least, click the link if you like the idea of it. It's $35 and you have to spend money to make money. So you learn the tricks in the trade. It's the link again, but you learn the tricks and trade to it. And then all of a sudden you develop these skills and you can use them for a bunch of things and you can keep making that money. So, again, I don't promote things that I don't believe in. Just really impressed with this course and would like to pass it to the people I love on here. So, anything else you guys need, just hit me up. Let me know. You have any questions about that course or anything, my setup, what have you. I'm going to start including links in every video now. I'm going to start including links to my setup. So if you want to see my microphone, how to buy my microphone, my camera, I'm going to have links to all of that, kind of like how, YouTubers do for, tech YouTubers. I'm going to have that. So I'm going to make sure if you guys do want to do what I do or get started and maybe in a lesser capacity, 100% I'm willing to help. So that's what we're going to do for that. Hope you guys enjoyed. It's been a lot of fun. I think I'll be back Monday, but we'll see. Maybe I'll be back tomorrow. I'll let you guys know if I am. If any news breaks, I probably will be. But going to try and record some videos tomorrow and probably do some voiceovers. So again, appreciate you guys. What's for dinner? No idea. I guess we'll see. Life is like a box of chocolates. You don't know what you're going to get. So we'll see what is for dinner. I haven't decided what I'm going to eat yet. I'll be planning my meals probably tomorrow, and then, I'll have more of an idea next week. But appreciate you guys for all your interest in what I do, and it just means a lot. I've been really overwhelmed by it in a good way. Did not expect to have such a huge following at such a, short amount of time, but, hey, we work hard here, This is a great community. But hey, I'll let you guys go. You guys go enjoy the rest of your Saturday. I'm going to go enjoy the rest of my Saturday. I'm going to get some food. And we'll reconvene probably on Monday. But if it's Sunday, don't be surprised. All right, that's gonna do it. And, be sure to check out everything I sent you. I don't know. Thank you so much, guys. You guys take care.